Hey everyone, you're listening to 4Player Podcast, a weekly live show about video games. We hope you'll stick around for another year of gaming discussion, Fantasy Critic hijinks, and of course, general shenanigans here at 4Player. Before we start this episode, we want to send a thank you out to everyone who listens and give a quick welcome to any newbies. I'll try to keep this short because this is, and always will be, an ad-free show. We've been at this since 2008, so if you like what we do, please subscribe and leave a review on your preferred podcast service. Join us in our Discord at discord.gg/4player, or, if you're so inclined, throw us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. We record these episodes live every Tuesday night on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast, all spelled out, and episodes hit podcast services on Friday morning. You can find all the links you need at 4playernetwork.com. But enough about that, let's get started. All right, hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. All right, Brad, go.
Oh, I was just listening to some of the Assassin's Creed conversation. Usually I just kind of tune that stuff out. It's not really a series I'm too interested in. But everybody who's talking about it is like, you know what? I'm kind of into this. And then they start describing like, oh, because like ninjas are cool, and this reminds me of like Tenchu and stuff. It doesn't sound like any of it has anything to do with Assassin's Creed being good, but more just that like ninjas are sick.
Well, no, I think
that's true. Which is fucking true.
No, I think
we've known that for so long.
I mean, I don't know how much of the conversation you tuned out last week, Brad, when I was talking about it, but like
you were saying some of that as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, like there is something to be said about like they finally did the thing everybody wants them to do, and it's pretty good. And playing as a ninja is really good. Yeah. Combat is really fun. Like,
I just think part of it is that like we've also known that that's true in video games for so long now, though, that it's almost like kind of adorable that Assassin's Creed finally got around to it. And of course, it's cool to be a ninja. But what are we talking about here? Y'all remember Ask a Ninja? Is that like? You can't go back to that, right? That's like offensive, right? Crispy, Ask a Ninja.
Some of it is.
I forgot about Ask a Ninja.
Oh, yeah. Crispy's not even old enough for Ask a Ninja.
Ninja, we are ninja. I am ninja too.
Yeah, we're canceled. Yeah, I mean, like that's no good, right? Like, I have not seen it in a long time, but I'm just gonna assume that it's like not cool anymore.
Not cool.
That's probably accurate. Okay,
he wasn't trying to be Japanese or anything. Though.
No, he was. He was like,
he had his own character.
I am Ninja Master.
All right, real quick. I'm gonna do an actual intro for the show.
Okay.
For posterity. This is episode 830.
Posterity?
For the sake of my prostate, I'm gonna go ahead and do an actual intro to the show. It's episode 830. It's April 2nd, 2025, the day after April Fool's. And it's been less than a week since our last show, because, of course, we recorded pretty late last week. And we're recording on an off night. It's a Wednesday night, but we're doing this because, of course, today was Nintendo's big Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. We wanted to make sure we had a chance to talk about that on the show while it was a hot topic. So we're doing the show on a Wednesday. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. We can just shoot the shit now. Okay. I just wanted to get that out there. I'm being a great host tonight.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. So what are we talking about here tonight? Nintendo?
I get you. Fuck it. Let's just. So we just did.
Wait, open with Fantasy Critic?
No. We just did trailer talk, as we normally do before we record these shows live on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast. And of course, we watched. As part of that, we rewatched a bunch of the stuff from today's Nintendo Direct. But now, kind of like everything's out on the table for the most part in terms of like the mystery of the Nintendo Switch 2 and the release date, the price, the launch window. Let's talk about it. Do we want to start hardware, software? What do we want to do? This was supposed to be like their big software thing, but it's been just
software for you.
Let's talk about software.
A little soft on the Nintendo Switch hardware.
Fair enough. Go for it. I'll allow it.
I don't know. It's just another Switch. A very expensive new Switch.
But it has a chat button now.
It does have a chat button. It has features I
will never use.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, right? Not for us. I get it.
You gotta have friends to use that button.
Yeah, it's not even that, right? Because it's like, you know, normies are gonna use like a nice nice headset and like Discord or some shit, right? Like, did you see the picture-in-picture shit that was running at like 4 frames a second in the official reveal? Like that's how it's
a
gonna
detrimental
run.
generalization there, Brad. It was easily running 8 to 10 frames per second on each screen.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, man.
It's not ideal. But these are all features and things that obviously I feel like maybe the quote unquote core audience is not necessarily interested in, but it's probably going to appeal to, you know, the broader, more mainstream audience. A lot, you know, younger folks too, probably. They had that camera, which they spent more time than I would have liked talking about during the direct,
which is
but like
easily $100. There's no way it's not.
Yeah. And even though this was supposed to be kind of their big software reveal, they spent a lot of time showing off the hardware. You know what pissed me off more than maybe anything during this presentation is they did the thing, right, where it's almost like they were learning from Sony a little bit, where they were like, we made this software that's designed to show off, like, to like give you it's literally called like Switch tour or something. It's like supposed to give you a tour of the hardware and teach you about the stuff. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And they're like sold separately.
$60.
Like, you're telling me I have to pay you money for you to give me a thing that's just telling me how the inner workings of your hardware work?
That is wild, because that has such
they used to
pack-in energy, pack-in
like,
game energy.
It had Astro's Playroom energy. Like, come on, just
did you see the Astro's Playroom tweet though?
No.
Or no, was it just Wario? Like Wario tweeted or retweeted like about Astro's Playroom today as the free pack-in for the PS5. It was Wario. That shit was good.
Also,
that was a
Nick,
bit of a.
You have to remember that the pack-in technology demonstrator that you had to pay for separately for the Switch was 1-2 Switch. The same company that also went on to have the audacity to create everybody Switch.
No. But this is a different thing. This really did look like just sort of a tech demo-y kind of.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a game. It was just like a cool way to like show you like how the thing works. And it's like, if that was free, I would probably check it out. But there's no way in hell I'm paying money for you to show me the inner workings.
Can I pause for a second?
Sure.
Can we pause for a second? Who drafted Donkey Kong? No one has Donkey Kong in our league?
No one has Donkey Kong.
Wait, what?
But I will tell you right now.
Chris Davis had it.
I had it last year.
No, it is up for pickup.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Who has the most money?
Me, probably.
Okay, Fantasy Critic has
we have
updated
3 people with $100.
Fantasy Critic has updated with Donkey Kong. It is up there and available for it. But that also means you're kind of fucked, Brad.
Me?
Yeah. Because you bid on unannounced 3D Mario platformer.
Yeah, but that's
we'll just
talk about Fantasy Critic later. That doesn't matter. Well, that's not even countered. I can just drop it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they chose not to convert it, even though it is the Odyssey team.
No. I know. It was always something different. I thought you had literally picked up Donkey Kong, but I guess I was thinking of last year.
No, you're thinking last year.
Why did you bid on that last year? No. So I didn't know it was up for grabs. That's crazy.
Neither did I. So my plan may still.
I mean, it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, it's gonna be very expensive for y'all. I'm gonna make it very expensive for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like how
anyways,
Chris Davis, you have $80. 3 people have $100.
Yes.
You're not gonna get that. I'm sorry.
Is somebody willing to spend $8 on one game?
Someone's gonna spend
more
than $80 on that.
They probably
Any
should.
one of you, okay, Nick, if you do that, you're fucked.
That's not true.
Hey,
it is true. He's got fucking 5 open slots and still needs to take another counter pick.
That's a little rough.
Like he's fucked if he throws all of his money at that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look. Can we get back on track here? We talk about Fantasy Critic later.
You got some open slots.
Crispy, you have $49. So if you're trying to talk them down into winning this,
I
don't even want it. It looks gay. I don't want it.
Okay. Wait, what?
That's true. I don't want any more too. I don't want any more either.
I don't want it. I don't want it at all.
That's well played. Well played.
He said Red Faction. I was like, man.
Red Faction Gorilla.
That is a really well made pun. All right, that we did not create. Let's be clear. We specified this during during the.
In fact, I'm gonna counterpick it if one of you guys picks it up.
You fucking bring it.
So I just pulled up the list because I was trying to find who counterpicked it. Because I was like, well, this was a Chris Davis game. We counterpicked all his dumb unannounced shit. His entire roster was counterpicked. So I was like, so who's dead? I was looking to see the person who counterpicked it because I thought they were dead in Fantasy Critic. And then I saw no one countered it. And I'm like, why didn't we counter it? And then I realized nobody had it.
Nobody has it.
And you know what? You could have kept.
So there are certain people we need to make sure don't get it.
Okay,
you
so
like kept that shit to yourself, Brad.
When Ed
couldn't we do public bidding?
Yeah. When Ed did his little moonshot of unannounced next mainline Fire Emblem game, wasn't he kind of waffling back and forth between two franchises, and the other one was Donkey Kong? Ooh, and we were like, no way a Mario and a Donkey Kong game are coming out in the same year.
What are we talking about right now? Can we talk about Donkey Kong? Do we have to go in order?
Wait. Focus. God, you're like cats. We're still
cats.
I still want to finish up the conversation, just the general conversation about the hardware itself first, right? Because that was a major focus of the presentation.
It has a fan.
There are features that we have not talked about on this podcast.
There's a fan. Well, we're not going to talk about fucking mouse mode because it's stupid and we don't care.
We talk about the come button, but like,
we don't care about the chat button. What's interesting is that like when you plug it into a dock, which is just, it's not like there's no hardware in the dock outside of a fan. Which suggests that they're gonna really overclock the shit out of the thing when you dock it, because they're saying on TV mode you're gonna be able to get like 4K up to 4K resolution up to 120 frames a second depending on the game and the resolution and all that.
I think it was
like it's pretty crazy.
I think it was 4K 60 if you go up to.
I know, but I'm saying like up to 4K and up to 120 frames a second depending on whatever the game or the resolution or whatnot, and that's crazy. Like because it's still a fucking handheld. And like, it's not like we're playing games on our fucking PS5 that are hitting 4K 60 like consistently. I mean, there's plenty of games that are not 60 frames a second. Games that we feel like should be, but they're certainly not.
They're only advertising
we're choosing
it as a
between
feature.
Quality and performance, and oftentimes even the performance mode is not running at 60 frames a second.
This is not unusual. They're advertising it because it's capable of it, but it still comes down to the software developers,
which is what I thought. But
take advantage
for them to actually say that Metroid Prime 4 can run at 4K 60 seems crazy. Because
that does seem a little nuts.
And it doesn't look like some like fucking 2D side scroller or whatever the fuck. Because that's what happened like with this past generation, right? It's like, oh well, like Ori can hit 120 frames a second. It's like, yeah, but who
cares?
Who gives a shit, right? But this is Halo. This is because Halo was never running at 4K 120 or whatever the fuck, right? They just sort of advertised that as the potential, right? But this is them actually saying, no, Metroid Prime 4K 60.
Here's my prediction.
Because it's still very pretty.
Here's my prediction. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond runs at 4K 60, and that is the only game for the entire lifespan of this console that runs at 4K
that's probably
60.
Not true. But
do you think that indicates that there's nothing really crazy going on in Metroid Prime 4?
I don't think so. Like visually, you mean?
No, I mean like they don't have any weird like the Donkey Kong Geomod shit. They probably wouldn't have anything.
So I mean, we have based on the first two trailers, it does seem like kind of basic ass Metroid Prime so far. I don't think it's going to be like open world, but I never thought it was going to be that really. Not after we saw it the first time. So you're considering probably right, but it doesn't matter. Like I was worried that I was going to, when I played Metroid Prime, that it would be on a Switch 1 and it would run like shit. And now we're in a world where we're playing it on a Switch 2 at 4K 60. I never thought we would ever play a Metroid game at 4K 60, and this is happening this year. That's crazy.
Considering that it's cross-generational, there's no way they're gonna have that much of a disparity between the two versions. So,
what do you mean?
Hardware is so weird.
Well, I mean, this is a much bigger jump. Like last generation, like Breath of the Wild really didn't run all that much better on a Switch versus the Wii U, right? But that's because they were going from a console to a handheld. Now they're going from a handheld to much more powerful handheld, I guess, much more powerful. So it makes sense. But because of that, and because they promised Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch 1, they had to make sure it ran really well on Switch 1. It's like they're not being like the fucking slumlords like Sony and Microsoft, where they just say fuck the base models, everyone's going to review it on Pro. Like I feel like Nintendo is actually respecting the hardware it was intended to launch for, so it's going to run great there. It has to, right? And that's why it's able to hit 4K 60 on the Switch 2, because I think they made it run really well on the Switch 1. That's the only thing that makes sense. Those are the kinds of games that can do that. Like anytime this generation you saw a game that, we talked about it, right? It's like indie games, or it's like ports of last generation games,
of which there were many.
So Dark Souls 2 port or whatever ran it really well, but then Elden Ring came out and kind of ran like shit again, right? Because that was a game that was designed for that generation of hardware. So it's not unusual. I guess I didn't expect it to be that significant for Metroid Prime, because I don't know.
I'm really waiting for the other shoe to drop on Metroid Prime. I'm excited for it, but we keep talking about how safe is this?
Yeah, but you remember, even a safe Metroid Prime, like there have been worse than safe Metroid Prime.
Oh, I know.
I say that every Metroid Prime game is great, but what I'm saying is like Metroid Prime 2, like some people really like it, some people are like, oh, some of this is,
but
weird,
it was crazy
or
experimental,
annoying. And Metroid Prime 3 also was like, oh, this is like so focused on like Wii controls. It's not like a singular world. You're hopping around between worlds. There's all these new characters and like cutscenes and stuff. To me, Metroid Prime 3 had some cool stuff, but it was like a little gross. So like if Metroid Prime 4 is more like Metroid Prime 1, in my eyes, they're making a new one that's like the one, right? It's like when Valkyria Chronicles 4 came out, and it was like well, this is more Valkyria Chronicles, but it's Valkyria Chronicles 1, the one I really love, and less of the stuff they were doing in like 2 and 3.
For sure.
Even if this is Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime is goated.
And I think we've said this a few times. I mean, if it came out and it was just like a really safe entry in the Metroid Prime series, we'd all still be happy. We'd all still be playing it and probably be raving about it. But I am still kind of like suspicious, and we, I think we mentioned that like Tears of the Kingdom, we didn't even show its true hand until like a couple weeks before launch.
That's true.
And so like something like that could still happen.
It could, I'm just kind of waiting. This is still retro, right? Like it's not Nintendo like first party. Like I mean, it's all Nintendo first party. What am I trying to say?
It's not internally developed at Nintendo.
Retro is they're the ones who get a little cute with like hiding stuff. I don't think Retro does that. They're not like trying to hide reasons to buy their new video game like they like Nintendo can afford to do with Zelda, because everyone's going to buy the new follow-up to Breath of the Wild so they can be cute with it. I don't think that's the point with this one. Doesn't even make sense to me. I don't get it. Yeah, so I don't know. The thing is, there's no shoes going to drop. Like the worst case scenario is that we just get a Metroid Prime game that's a lot like Metroid Prime. Like there's way more ways they could fuck it up, and we're not seeing that stuff in these trailers, which is good. I was worried that it was going to be more like, like fucking Other M, where Samus is like taking orders from some stupid bitch about not using her ability. I hate that fucking game so much.
Oh. Clearly, I couldn't tell. Okay, anything else I'm forgetting like that was significant? Hardware
from the
related
Switch 2 thing?
Yeah, just in general.
So we haven't talked about Mario Kart at all, which is like
I'm talking
huge
about hardware. I'm talking about
hardware.
Anything else hardware related?
Hardware is unimpressive, but like everyone's happy to not have to play their games on a Switch 1 anymore. So I think no one's being too fussy about it.
I don't think anybody wants to play. I don't think anybody wants to play Metroid Prime 4 on a Switch 1. It's
no. I'm going to, because I'm not.
But that's the thing. It's probably going to.
Do you want to?
I don't know. Yeah, okay, the Switch 2 hardware is not blowing me out of the water. You know what would be cool? Is if the Switch 2 could, like, feel pain or, like, be scared.
There is one cool thing
it was, like,
I guess we haven't talked about. one cool thing we didn't talk about the hardware.
We're not there yet, Crispy.
That's like the local screen sharing or whatever, like zapping your game to other people's like switches, and they could even use old switches.
Yeah.
To do like screen sharing, multiplayer, that kind of stuff. That shit's pretty neat, you know. Like even because that's. I mean,
is that why games are going to be $80?
Part of it.
So like in theory, like my kid is. So the Switch 2 can zap their screen elsewhere, but like can the Switch 1? They can't do that, right? But you can zap the screen to a Switch 1. You're like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential here that people aren't really talking about.
There's some good potential for older games, like Game Boy Advance games that did 4-system link games.
Well, sure, I guess, but I mean that's such a minor thing, right?
Well, I mean, like Four Swords Adventures could come back, for example.
Yeah.
Oh, but... Federation Force.
Okay, stop it. Ugh.
All right. Let's talk about it. Okay. Last thing, I guess hardware related. We didn't say anything about the release date and the price. June. What is it? June 5th.
7th.
Somebody help me.
June 5th.
I don't have it in front of me.
June 5th.
I think
June 5th. $449 for the base model. $499 if you want the bundle with Mario Kart. I don't know if
a good deal on Mario Kart. That's $30
that is a good deal on Mario
off.
Kart. And everyone's gonna want Mario Kart, so it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's
for sure.
But I mean, everything is so expensive these days. No one really thought it was going to be so cheap, right?
Before the tariffs,
I guess it's a little weird because the PS5 was $400, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, a PS5 Pro is like fucking $4,000 or some ridiculous price, and like compared to that, this ain't that bad, right? Like if you look at graphics cards and what Sony's charging for their Pro, this shit seems like chump change, right? I don't know. We were buying Xbox Ones with Kinects for $500. At least somebody was.
It is expensive.
And we were getting a lot of value out of them.
Well, no,
it is expensive, and it's especially expensive for people who are used to paying.
It's cheaper in Japan, is what I'm hearing.
For Nintendo products.
$30 region lock Japanese model. That's fucked up.
So this is what I'm wondering. Like, is the higher price here? So like the fact that it's cheaper in Japan is super unusual. I feel like
it has something to do with the economy. Like,
you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering
they can't.
The yen's in the toilet.
Yeah, the yen and the dollar are very.
Also, I can't help but wonder if because they obviously chose to wait until today to talk about the price, whatever. And I'm wondering, because everyone was like, oh, they made this announcement, and then like literally this afternoon, there was all this talk about the tariffs thing, and like the stock market is crashing because reasons. And now I'm just like, everyone's like, well, I hope that doesn't mean like the price could get even higher. And now I'm just like, or maybe were they actually like just factoring that into because they saw it
probably is my guess. Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do about scalpers?
You have to remember.
Well, they are doing something about scalpers, and oh my god, I fucking blew it, dude. So there was talk about April 9th. So when this Nintendo came out and they said, if you register on this site, we will sell you a Switch through the My Nintendo store, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to prioritize people who have at least played at least 50 hours of a game on their account and have been subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. That's how they're beating the scalpers, because scalpers are not going to have these accounts that have actually played. And it's since the end of February. So you can't just start playing a game now. These counts have to already exist for you to be able to order.
And then is it like one per account or something?
So what you're saying is I'm not going to be prioritized on this list.
But here's the thing. I saw this April 9th shit. So when I also saw like Wario tweet about Switch doing this program, I thought that was also going to be on April 9th. But that site is live. You can go register now your place in line. I didn't realize that till hours and hours later. So even though my account is good, I'm so far back in the line now. I'm worried that I'm not going to get a Switch this way because they're only going to sell so many Switches this way. There's no way they're going to reserve millions of Switches just for this My Nintendo store launch day release. There's no way, right? So I'm super frustrated right now, and now I'm worried that I'm not going to get a Switch at launch. I'm not going to be able to get a Switch at launch because everywhere else, the scalpers in 2025 are different than they were in 2017.
Dude, it's so bad.
Evolved.
I keep
so bad.
I keep getting like scalper videos of like Pokemon cards, and like people are like getting into fist fights at Target.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like on a daily basis over these scalpers. It's ridiculous. But do you think I could make money by selling my Nintendo account to a scalper then?
Probably, yeah. Actually, but you'd have to sell your whole Nintendo account and any digital games you've purchased it for it. Now, I will say, Crispy, you should probably, even if you don't intend to buy a Switch 2, like they're going to send out invites, so you should register on that site. I just did it like 4 hours late, and now I'm worried that despite me playing many hours and having Nintendo Switch Online, that I'm still fucked.
So if I haven't played a shit ton of Switch lately,
it doesn't matter. Have you played at least 50 hours of Switch games?
Just total?
Total.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
also, do you have a subscription to
Online?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just the base one, the $20 a year one.
Yeah.
All you needed. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, you should just go ahead and register. The problem is they're not going to send out invites until like May for this. So no one's going to know that they're getting one until after pre-order day. So everyone is still going to have to try to go crazy pre-ordering. It just sucks that if you can't get one on April 9th, you're not going to know until like mid-May that if you're going to get one through Nintendo, and people are going to be losing their fucking minds. The thing is, there is no world where I'm going to like pay any sort of like inflated scalper price for a fucking Switch. So if I can't get one next Wednesday, I'm just not going to have a fucking Switch 2 at launch. I'm just so pissed that I didn't realize what was happening this morning when people were talking about that. I was there with them talking about it. Like, oh, it's cool that Nintendo's doing this. But there had been so much talk about April 9th being when the pre-orders go live for everyone else, that I thought no one was registering yet until like I fucking, spent half the day hanging out with my kids. And then I look at my phone and I'm like, kill me.
It makes you feel any better, Brad. Heard Dobojin in chat. It's okay. The economy's going to collapse well before it matters.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. You're not gonna be using money to buy your Switch 2. You're gonna be using sex and fresh water. So stock up now.
Get ready.
I'm not giving away my fresh water, but
just start an OnlyFans. Am I right?
Sweet hole.
Yeah, my sweet hole is up for grabs.
God damn it! Why does it always come back to this? Okay, let's talk about the games. Right? Let's talk about the games.
Well, they only had two, so
yeah, they only had two.
There
Mario
are
Kart World, baby.
Games.
Mario Kart World is cool. So I said it before. Mario Kart, at least in my eyes, has always been like some pretty basic. Like it's been popular, but like I feel like no one really started respecting Mario Kart until like this last one, Deluxe or whatever. Where like I feel like there's been a little extra shape put on the series. Well, no, it's always been liked and it's always sold incredibly well, right? And it's always that one that we played with our homies for all these years, but it was always the kind like, oh, that's the fun one. But like when I'm giving out Game of the Year awards, it's to like Zelda,
it's never Mario Kart,
Mario and Metroid. It's not, it always sold well, but it's not the one we really. Yeah, it's the sideshow that we do when like people come over, right?
It's no Diddy Kong Racing.
I mean, what is?
It's funny you say that, but like the truth is, I think part of that is that I feel like the series has like been so iterative, and like as a single player game, even up to like the most recent one, it's like dog shit. Like this is the game you play online or like shitty split screen with your homies, or you're not gonna have a good time because it's just like they're just single player races, like going from cup to cup.
They're
and it's
basic as shit.
It's basic, and it's the same one in all of them. And they've done a little bit here and there with battle mode, but honestly, it's a series that almost never evolved. And this seems like a final, like a real evolution of Mario Kart. And I think it's going to catapult it into the respect part of
I think this
the
looks
Nintendo's main lineup.
I think this is going to pop off. Like we
Mario already know it's going to sell like crazy, but I'm saying this is going to be like a mid-90s scoring game now for the first time ever, I think.
No,
and it's scary.
I totally
it's scary.
agree.
Like for Fantasy Critic, it's scary because Ed has this, right?
He does. I didn't realize it was Ed until you mentioned that.
I can't believe no one had Donkey Kong. I was so fucking convinced.
There he is. He's saying it out loud again. Okay.
Have public bidding, Nick. If anyone doesn't notice that Donkey Kong has been bid on Thursday, they might as well just hand in their Fantasy Critic card. Okay, they're not trying.
I haven't been trying for weeks, so.
I mean, sure, but
I'm trying to get back on the horse. Okay, I'm trying to get back on the horse. It's also like
the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. Anybody who played, it was one of the biggest days of the year for anyone playing Fantasy Critic. So.
Right.
You know what wasn't there, Nick? Oh, so Mario Kart. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about Mario Kart until maybe this one. Hopefully it is
Forza Horizon meets Mario Kart.
Yeah,
it's like open world,
Burnout Paradise.
Open world Mario Kart. And you know what? I think about, because I wasn't kidding. I do have a fondness for Diddy Kong Racing, and I always have. And I'm not saying this is anything like that necessarily, but it does kind of feel that way, but it's obviously on a much bigger scale, because I always loved driving around kind of that hub area to get to all the different races in Diddy Kong.
So fucking minor. I mean, that's so long
ago. Crash Team Racing long ago.
Did it too. I mean,
I know, but I love that shit. I feel like Mario Kart has never done that.
You're right, they haven't, but this is a much bigger step than that.
Oh, shit. I know. That's what it's huge step, and I think this is it's exciting.
Free roam mode, man. If there have cool hidden shit in that world,
secrets.
Burnout Paradise. I famously, there's two kinds of Burnout fans: real Burnout fans, and then the people who like Burnout Paradise. And the truth is, Burnout, Burnout Takedown is a real Burnout game. Burnout Revenge is kind of a real Burnout game. Burnout Paradise,
it's for basic.
I get people really got into it because I don't know, getting all the billboards and shit was kind of fun and addictive. Driving around with friends is kind of fun and addictive, but doing the actual races in Burnout Paradise was kind of fucked. Where they had the little street signs that would appear when you're supposed to fucking turn, and everyone would just be crashing and missing turns. Famously in Burnout Paradise, it was all about missing your fucking turn. And then, because it wasn't like Forza Horizon where you could just go off road to get back on track. You missed a turn. You're like, I guess I got to reset this stupid fucking race. It was annoying. And they took out the good crash mode for this stupid thing where you just roll around a little bit. It sucked ass. Right?
Now we're just ranting about Paradise.
You're right.
Yeah, he's ranting about Paradise. Fuck you, Brad. Burnout Paradise is a great game.
I don't think he's saying Paradise is a bad game. He's just saying it's not the same. It's not.
You're just not a real one unless Takedown or is your favorite, or Revenge.
He's just calling you a basic bitch. That's all.
All I'm saying is I hope it's not like Burnout Paradise, and I hope it's more like Forza Horizon. But Forza Horizon, people love it.
I fucking own Dominator, you son of a bitch. Crazy? Okay.
Dominator? You own Dominator?
Yeah.
Do you even know what Dominator is?
Yeah, the PS2 wannabe port of Revenge.
Okay. So you have played a good Burnout game.
So Mario Kart and Forza are both Italian racing franchises. So
Forza
they're direct
or pizza?
Forza.
Mario.
Mario.
I'm not going to survive in the video game landscape unless I can roll my R's.
Chris Davis has left his chair to go fetch his copy of Burnout Dominator.
Burnout Dominator is just like a shitty
Mario.
It's not even. I don't
listen, motherfucker. Okay,
that's a whole Burnout collection.
Revenge. Paradise. 3. Dominator. Look, I fucking love Burnout. Don't disparage Paradise just because it has one bad thing to it.
I listed at least 4 bad things.
No, there's only one bad thing to Paradise, and it's the crash mode.
Only one.
BO Paradise.
There was there's 4 places you could start a race in Burnout Paradise, and they all ended up in the same other 4 fucking places.
Damn.
Man, fuck Burnout Paradise. That's some cool DLC though.
You go to hell, Brad.
That's some cool DLC.
I think that's the name of our show tonight. The fuck Burnout Paradise.
Forza.
Honestly, this new Mario Kart does look a little Burnout Paradise in the way the races are.
How come Mario Kart's
those
never
aren't
done
receipts.
like a...
Showing that he owns games are not receipts. This dude buys video games all the time.
Motherfucker.
I'm saying
hate you
I got.
so much.
You want me to pull games off my shelf that I've never fucking played? I can do that.
Mario Kart should do a...
We all could do that. Let's be real.
Ferrari collab.
He didn't tell me anything. He should be quoting DJ Atomica. You know, if he was a real... Whatever. What are we talking about? DK? Donkey Kong?
Oh, yeah.
Kirby Air Ride? That's
you don't even know the lyrics to the song, Brad, because you're not a Donkey Kong fan.
Well, I certainly wasn't a Donkey Kong 64 fan because Donkey Kong 64 sucks ass.
All right, tourist. All right, tourist.
No.
All right,
Donkey
tourist.
Kong 64 sucks. And honestly, side-scrolling Donkey Kong, the Donkey Kong Country games, I think the only truly goated Donkey Kong game is Donkey Kong 94 for the Game Boy.
Shut the fuck
and that's
up.
my honest opinion. I think classic like arcade Donkey Kong was overrated.
Kong Country.
I don't.
You're full of shit.
So like some of the tracks, right? You know, like I don't want to play
Donkey Kong
Returns and Tropical Freeze are overrated. I think we've talked about them. I think they're overrated or overglazed. You know,
what about
like, the levels are too long. You're stopping every 2 seconds to collect bananas.
Why does the word overglazed?
You're a gorilla, Brad. That's the whole point. Is the bananas.
Yeah, I don't like platformers where collecting is the focus. I play Mario games and like fuck the coins most.
Half of platformers are collectathons.
No, Donkey Kong 64 was a rancid ass collectathon, and that's what.
Oh, it 100% was. Yes.
No, but like the best platformers are not just collectathons. If you want to play a fucking Yoshi game or a Kirby game, you go ahead. But I'm looking for some challenging, some good platforming, getting to the end of the stage.
Some Banjo-Kazooie up in this bitch.
Explain to me how Mario Odyssey is not a collectathon.
Lots of collecting, but a lot of the shit that was littered all over Banjo-Kazooie levels.
It was like hidden.
A lot of the stuff that was littered all over Banjo-Kazooie levels was just like ammo and like it wasn't actual stuff that you were collecting to beat the stage or anything. What are we talking about?
We're supposed to be talking about
Donkey Kong is
Bonanza.
All this was my intro to say we're finally gonna get a good Donkey Kong game because this one looks really good.
Shoot this guy.
This one looks really good, dude. It looks like Mario Odyssey with Geomod. It looks. I was watching this thinking it reminded me of like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which is sick as fuck.
That's a wild.
No, dude, Donkey Kong is a force of nature, literally. And the Geomod stuff from like Red Faction, this shit looks sick.
Your references are Hulk Ultimate Destruction and
Red Faction
Gorilla.
Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty.
What the fuck is wrong with that?
Let's get you to bed, old man. It's almost 10 o'clock at night.
I will say, Donkey Kong's like ability to like fuck up that it seems like it would have been like 2 levels in Astrobot. Like you would get like the gorilla arms suit, and you'd like it'd be like some sick ass memorable level for like 2 levels, and then they would move on to some new power. I don't know if Astrobot like raised the bar, but like.
Oh, I think it did.
Like the cool visual effects of like him punching up a stage were neat, but like we saw so much like cool visual stuff like that in Astrobot that it does kind of like mute it a little, like water it down a little bit. But whatever. I don't want to be negative. I think this Donkey Kong game looks amazing, honestly, and I want to play.
It's coming out in the release window. It's a July game, right? It's July.
July 17th, I think it said.
I heard they're even getting
like a month after.
I heard they're getting Seth Rogen to do the voice acting.
And I will say, I know it's going to be a popular bid on Fantasy Critic. I think this thing, that narrative-wise, just like from what I've seen, where people are at with Donkey Kong and their nostalgia for Donkey Kong, and if it's true, if we hear that like Nintendo, EAD, like if it's the Mario Odyssey team making this thing is primed to hit like mid-90s. If it really is this. Fucking as good as it looks, I think it's going to be up there. It's going to be the highest scoring Donkey Kong game ever.
I agree. It's going to be
great.
I thought you guys hated
Odyssey.
I definitely don't hate Odyssey. It's just not my favorite.
It did make my top 10 list in 2017, but 2017 was a crazy year.
That is same here.
Okay, it's no Mario.
It's no Mario Galaxy. It's no
Galaxy.
Mario.
It's no Mario.
No Mario World.
I mean, look, Odyssey's a little overglazed.
There it is again, Overglazed. All I can think about is, never mind. Just
glaze with the cum of
donuts.
Nolan and Crispy.
Rusty Brown's ring donuts.
I love to lick lovingly around the outside and then thrust my tongue
Mario
in the middle.
Odyssey, it's a delightful game. It's a delightful game. But we got like real games that year. We got real games in 2017, like Breath of the Wild, Yakuza 0, Hollow Knight, fucking Divinity Original Sin, okay? Like there was a reason Mario Odyssey didn't make my top 10 list, okay? Prey came out in 2017. Come on. Real video games.
Prey was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Mario Odyssey's good. Okay, Mario Odyssey's fine. So, but there's no 3D Mario here. That's the big thing, right?
That's my big question. Do you think if this is the Odyssey team, what do you think this means for Mario, if anything?
What do you mean? They're just gonna wait a couple of years and put out a sick ass Mario game. That's all it means.
It's been so long since Odyssey, though.
No, but it has. But you're right. It's been a long time since Odyssey. But
like this, as cool as this looks, I kind of want Mario more.
No, you're right. It's been a long time since Odyssey, but they also did like Bowser's Fury, which is like a pretty sick ass Mario game. Even if it wasn't
a sick ass Mario game, yeah.
And it wasn't. It was like maybe smaller than your typical. It was smaller than Odyssey.
It was an experiment.
I remember saying when I played Bowser's Fury that I hope and pray that the next like huge Mario game is like building on these blocks, like building off of Bowser's Fury.
Odyssey. Yeah, Bowser's Fury. And we might see some of that stuff in Donkey Kong, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, we had Mario Wonder. Speaking of Overglazed, Mario Wonder came out a couple years ago. So it's like Mario's around. He's also in like the movie theater. Like Mario's gonna be fine. Let Donkey Kong shine.
I'm not worried about Mario. I'm just having a purely selfish desire to play a new 3D Mario game.
Honestly, I hope Mario's in the game and I hope Donkey Kong beats the shit out of him. Because he's like a rabid fucking ape. He's crazy. He's beating the shit out of everything. And like, they're rivals, famously rivals.
The world could use a little 3D Mario joy. You know what I mean?
Dude, we're getting that, but with a cooler character.
You could have a whole plot line.
Wait, you think Donkey Kong is a cooler character than Mario?
Mario is not cool. He's not cool.
I could have.
He's in. Mario's in amazing video games. Mario, whatever his fucking name is not cool.
Whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you liked video games, Brad. What the fuck?
I like video games. I like Mario's video games. I don't like Mario the person. I have separated myself, separation of
what?
Of author and level design, whatever. What is this crazy? Mario is cool? Like the character?
I really think
have Samus statues and shit. I don't have this Mario figurine. Yeah. You get like a plush from like your aunt on Christmas, and that's why you have
a Mario. He's a fun little guy. What's wrong with that?
No one's buying the fucking Mario.
He's a working class hero. Figma. You're being a fucking dick right now.
Show me your fucking Mario Figmas, please.
He's a fucking, I don't have any Figmas because I'm a fucking adult with bills, Brad.
Well, sure. I mean, we are talking about children's games here. But I'm saying, if you were to buy one, it's not going to be Mario.
Yeah.
It's going to be some hot lady or someone actually cool.
Link.
Touche.
Link? I got a Link Figma. Link's cool. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of cool. He's cooler than Mario. He's got a fucking sword.
Okay, Link is cooler than Mario. No one's saying that, but
that's definitive. Yes,
but come on, Mario is like the working class. He's a fucking plumber from Brooklyn who saves the world. Come on.
Yeah.
What's not to like? Have a little class solidarity, Brad.
Also, I have the Link Between Worlds Link Figma, which was. The concept art was based on like, the instruction booklet from the original Zelda, and he's like cool as shit. That's a badass Figma.
All right, what are we talking about? What else is there to say? Oh, first of all, I will say this. We did spend about 30 minutes talking about all these trailers before the recording, so maybe go back and check out Trailer Talk in the article.
That is cool.
But Chris Davis, you said you were going to bring something up.
Well, I was going to bring several things up. But why don't we just get out of the way, legally distinct Bloodborne 2.
Oh God, that is the biggest.
So I was hoping it was legally distinct Bloodborne 2, right? So we start
legally distinct Bloodborne.
Well, 2. We start watching this, and I'm like, well, this kind of looks like Bloodborne, but not really. And so I thought they were pulling a Demon Souls to Dark Souls situation where they wanted to make Bloodborne 2, but they're tired of working with Sony, right? Which is what happened with Demon Souls, I mean. So I thought this was going to be like, Dark Blood or what, I thought it was going to be Bloodborne with another.
My brain
name.
was going back and forth between, is this Bloodborne 2 or did From Software finally make a Castlevania game? Because like it was starting to look, either way, it looked like it was gothic horror, which,
if Bloodborne makes a Castlevania game, I would lose my fucking mind. This did not look like
I thought I was gonna have to check on you, Brad. I was like, oh my god, Brad's dream is coming true. If it
was, I would have been popping off. The thing is, I also would. This thing is Switch only. Also, it's a fucking multiplayer only game.
Okay, that is the lead that they buried, because nowhere in that trailer does it say the Duskbloods, which is the name of this game, by the way, is an 8-player PvE.
PvPvE.
PvPvE multiplayer game from Software, exclusive to the Switch 2, which, not that that's necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but it feels gross.
It is
that
a
they
bad
didn't
thing.
say it in. I mean, it is like, it's obviously not what we wanted, but the fact that we had to find out about it, we had to find out about that.
He will take it. He will take it.
I'll take it.
And that's fine. I'm just saying,
I'll play that game with my friends, I guess. Like
the fact that we had to discover this is a multiplayer game from the press release after the fucking conference or presentation,
because they don't want people to know.
Because they obviously are like, well, obviously don't say that out loud.
Okay. Hang on. First of all, the fact that we're getting Night Rain undercuts this also. From Software's already doing a multiplayer FromSoft game. And now we're getting another one. What the fuck?
Aren't they like owned by Tencent or something?
I mean, I ain't been on this shit.
It's also confirmed.
Nintendo went to From Software, obviously, and said, hey, we're going to give you a lot of money to make a exclusive title for our system. And the conversation could have stopped right there, and we could have all been living the dream. It could have been a new IP.
Shit as mouse mode, dude. Fucking Miyazaki was playing fucking Tarkov when COVID hit, man.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
Oh.
Miyazaki has been confirmed to be directing this game.
Okay, so FromSoft's primarily owned by Katakawa Corporation with a minority
Sony's in the process
held
of buying
by Tencent subsidiary Six Joy Hong Kong and Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Yeah.
Sony owns a minority stake in FromSoft.
Yeah, there's been some talk that Sony's trying to, I think, buy all of it or whatever, but we'll see.
I think it's just it's fair to say that all of us watched the same trailer and all of us had the same reaction, right? Before we knew it was a multiplayer game, right? And I think all of us would have been
the jetpack.
Yeah, there was a fucking jetpack. Like all of us were like, we are on board. This looks amazing. I can't fucking wait. This is the game changer for this presentation. And then we found out the truth, and then it was just Crispy who was excited.
Dude,
Mike can't even pick it up,
right? Like everyone's sad today, right? There's sad people, and then there's the people like gaslighting themselves, and then there's Crispy.
Oh, fuck off!
and then there's Crispy.
Like I don't care. There are people who love multiplayer in these Souls games, right? But like no one. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where like some people only play the multiplayer. They don't give a shit about like
Isn't
fucking
that Jaeger.
Well, no. He loves. That's the thing. Everyone who loves Souls games loves the core Souls game experience. Sure. It's not like, oh, I don't care about these bosses. Who gives a shit? I just want to gank some fools. Like, no, that's no one. That's no one.
This is like if they released Night Rain, but Elden Ring had never come before it.
Oh, or like any FromSoft game.
Well, right, but I'm just saying, like, Night Rain is like, okay, that looks cool. It's not really for me, but like, we have Elden Ring, and that's fucking amazing. But like
I think here's a better analogy. There are some people who play Call of Duty who never ever touch those campaigns. They just have never cared. 100%. They don't care.
Halo.
They're multiplayer games to them, right? But like those people don't exist for Souls games. They don't. There are people who really get into the multiplayer, and there are people who don't. But everyone loves Souls games.
To which the higher ups at From Software would be like, yet and it's like, shut the fuck up, stop it, just
or
fucking
like
stop
or like
it.
with I don't know. The problem is, like, if this came out like 2 years from now after we played Night Rain and thought Night Rain was sick, we might be more on board for this. But we're already like worried about Night Rain. Is that even going to be good? And now we're getting 2 of them. You know, it's weird. It's weird.
It's very weird. Yes.
Or do this after Bloodborne 2 comes out, you know, or Darkborn or whatever the fuck this is. What is this called? Dustborn?
Duskblood.
Duskblood. You should have called it Dark Blood.
No, the
Duskbloods.
That's how you know it's a multiplayer, because it's called the Duskbloods with an S.
Gross.
If it was just called Duskblood, it would have been like fucking sick.
Weak. You guys are weak, okay?
No. Sometimes you're right, and we're just fucking with you, Crispy. This situation.
This is not one of those times.
This is not one of those times.
Weakness.
You're wrong.
In your veins, your blood is watered down.
But hey,
we don't even know if it's good. It could be bad.
It said FromSoft. That's how I know.
There's some promise. There is a wonderful little cameo by Yoko Taro in there. So like, there's got to be some hope.
What is up with that? The moon? That looks so Yoko Taro.
It looks very Majora's Mask.
Got some real Boss Baby vibes.
I don't know. Like if they finally announced a new Nier game, well, actually this has been happening. Like if they announced that the new Nier game is just some multiplayer game, you'd be like, oh yeah, who needs Yoko Taro, right? Like you'd be like on board. I just want to gank some fools. No,
dude, the Steampunk Rocket Man though.
Yeah, Steampunk
Onion Knight with a jetpack. It's Onion Knight with a jetpack.
Yeah, look. I was vibing with that dude when he was just kind of, even before he had the jetpack, and he was just like strolling up all slowly, and I was like, yeah, dude, this is like that homie from Return to Oz. I love that guy. And then he like started jetpacking, man. Fuck yeah,
you guys. It's just
but then I found out it's a game I'm never gonna play, so I don't care anymore. Next topic.
Okay, all right. What, Chris Davis? Is there anything else specifically you wanted us to acknowledge before we?
Damn chance.
Well, other than 4 seconds of Hollow Knight Silk Song showing up.
Oh God, the audacity!
The audacity!
But it was in a sizzle reel.
Yes,
it was in a sizzle reel.
With the
and it had a 2025 date. That's significant.
Sizzling.
And I'm not even certain that's actually new footage. I think that might be recycled.
It's concerning.
What is wrong with you? Let the meme go, Chris Davis.
No.
The game is, and I'm not just talking to you. It's fucking everyone. I get it. It was funny. Silk Song's never coming out. Like literally counted in 40% of leagues. Like you guys are idiots. Stop it. This is a real video game. It was always coming out. We all had a good laugh.
It was playable in 2019. Yes, I know. It's not a meme to me that it's coming out.
Yeah, so like, let's be happy.
I'm happy that it's coming along. I'm glad to see that it still exists.
It's literally gonna be better than all of this trash.
Okay, but it's gonna be game of the year. We can't also get fucking GTA 6 this year too, right?
No, I think we can.
Yeah,
no,
that
I know you're especially sweating that one, but I'm
not sweating shit, Brad. Okay.
All right.
He just doesn't want to be burned by Mortal Kombat 12 again.
I will say. I'm just glad that with Silksong coming out, it doesn't have to be another stupid fucking year where a Haze-like game wins Game of the Year. Thank God. If Split Fiction won Game of the Year awards, I would quit this podcast.
Why do you hate
It's
Split
a trifle.
Fiction?
It's that game is ridiculous. It is for children.
Wait, you're like totally like, what happened? What happened to you?
What, Split Fiction?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Like, that game is fun. And like, it is not, you know how we were talking about like good video games that we respect and then games we play when like people come over? Like, this should not be winning awards. Okay. You know,
I think
it's like, oh, there's 10 nominees for Best Picture, so I guess we can put in Split Fiction, I guess, now, you know? But like, this just feels... won the most Game of the Year awards that year when they pulled like 500 outlets.
I think it deserved it. For It Takes Two specifically, I think it deserved
fucking mind.
Dude, It Takes Two is fucking incredible.
You didn't give it your game of the year, and
no,
good
but it was
on you, because I would have insulted you if you did.
So what
you
you
were
think my game of the year? Is... Yeah,
Well,
true, very true.
But like,
also,
this one I would have meant.
How often does my game of the year line up with the most common game of the year? It's not.
You're at least picking like respectable things.
Wait, It Takes Two is very respectable. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's bullshit. It's like silly bullshit.
Brad, I refuse to believe this is because this is not the tune
How
you
far
were
are you
singing.
in Split Fiction?
Dude, I'm not even talking about Split Fiction anymore. I'm talking about It Takes Two. Because whatever, I have not finished Split Fiction before yet, but like, It Takes Two is genuinely incredible. Like a game changer, and you were very positive about it when we were talking about it, and now you're like,
and I'm positive. I'm like a tomato on Split Fiction, but you've seen the tomatoes that are like 72, and you're like, is this really a tomato? And then like the 98 tomatoes.
I don't get the
tomato meters
reference you're making.
Tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, like it's a tomato. Like it is a recommend, right? I would recommend Split Fiction to people, right?
Look,
but there's a difference between.
I just think you're off on this take, because I think
Wonder Woman, with the sequel to Wonder Woman, was a tomato on Rotten Tomatoes, but there's a difference between that and like There Will Be whatever. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
I don't know, man. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm just taken aback. That's all. Let's move on.
I'm only taken aback by how much you're defending Split Fiction. That's all.
What? No, I'm at this point again. I don't even care about Split Fiction. It Takes Two. Genuinely one of the best gaming experiences I feel like I've had in the past decade.
I was listening to a podcast today. I think that's what it was. They were shit talking Split Fiction, admitting that it was fun, but they were like, 10 years ago we were playing like Portal 2, and that was like a grown-ups co-op game. This is like bullshit compared to that, and that's true. But we can move on. We can move on. It's fun. It's a fun game. Henry loves watching.
Fuck you piece of shit.
I'm being honest. He loves watching. If I told Malia that I never wanted to play this ever again, her answer would be thank God.
Sounds like a.
She's being really kind, I think, when she plays that game with me, because I don't think
Robin and I are having a fucking great time.
I believe you. And I'm not saying Malia's not having a great time, but look, she's not always right either. Like, I had to really push her on Severance. I finally got her to watch it.
Oh, I just finished season 1 last night.
Season 1. Yeah. I finally got her to finish watching season 1 with me so we could start season 2.
We just finished season 1. We just rewatched season 1 so we can watch season 2 the other night. Like, we finished.
It's pretty good.
Pretty typical for what
also
people are doing. But
on the note of Severance, if you have not yet, the companion podcast they've been doing has been pretty great as well. Just saying. Anyways, let's move on. Enough about the Switch 2. I think this is going to be a one-segment show, but I do want to let Chris Davis talk about, you have a game, right?
I do.
I don't know how much you want to say about it. Like, how far are you in this game?
I'm 6 hours into it. It's not that far, but enough to get, talk about it a little bit.
This motherfucker bought it on Steam. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, so now we always have access to it in case somebody runs out of their Game Pass.
Now I can play it on my Steam Deck, which is great.
Heaven forbid.
So thank you.
But
like without using Moonlight.
But Moonlight is better than installing something.
I can't do that when I'm at work.
So don't play Atomfall when you're at work.
I'm not, bro. What do you think I'm saying? I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows while I'm at work, and that works for me.
But that actually runs pretty well on Steam Deck, like you were saying?
It runs.
There's no way Atomfall runs that well on a Steam Deck installed to a Steam Deck.
Probably
not. Actually, I'm kind of surprised by this game. It is pretty decently optimized.
But have you tried it on a Steam Deck?
Granted, I don't have a Steam Deck, so I can't do that direct comparison.
Exactly.
Steam Deck is like old hardware. It's not.
Yeah.
No, anyways, we're talking about Atomfall.
Which
I'm genuinely curious about.
Makers of sick games like
Sniper Elite,
the good Alien vs Predator.
Yeah.
Not okay. No, I'm sorry, they made 2 Alien vs Predator games. One was not good. The original, sick.
Which one did I play? I played the one on the 360.
You probably played the one on 360. Which
you're probably
that's the one I'm saying is sick.
That's the bad one? Fuck.
Yeah.
Rebellion has made some sick games, though, over the
They've
years.
made sick games. They've made some duds. But this one is actually...
This is like their legally distinct Fallout, right? Set in the UK or...
I honestly wouldn't even make the direct Fallout comparisons, except in certain circumstances. I mean, it's almost feels a little bit more stalkery than Fallout. Fallout is a game about growing through a sprawling map with a bunch of quests and exploring a lot of different hazardous environments without necessarily with like this oppressive, happy-go-lucky charm to it. This is a more serious game, like Stalker 2 or the Stalker series in general. But it's got this interesting English 1960s charm to it that has that vague background history of World War II and the Blitz and the just characters with these distinct memories of that war comes up very often. And
it also doesn't have like a what do you call it when there's like something that takes place in the past, but it has like semi-futuristic elements to it. There's a word for it. There's like this because doesn't this like take place in the past, but it has like mechs and shit.
I mean, yeah, there are mechs in this. I mean, it's retrofuturism. You think?
Maybe historical fiction is not what I'm thinking of, but whatever.
Retrofuturism.
Carry on.
Whatever.
Maybe futurism. It has futurism, but it takes place in the past.
Yeah. So I've only put about 6 hours into it, but so far, it feels very different from Fallout. It doesn't have that like narrative necessary charm of an old school Bethesda game. But the thing I really like about it is the atmosphere they put into this game. There's like this ever-flowing melancholic like threat and the overbearing nature to the nature of the world of this zone. Everything it's a pretty game, but the entire time as you're going through the various maps I've been through, you can see off in the distance the atom plant where this accident has happened and it's started corrupting
a nuclear
the area.
accident.
Yeah, it's like Chernobyl, right? It's like it's Chernobyl adjacent like kind of accident, right? Like
as far as I've been able to compare it to, it's more like Stalker in that regard. There's more mysticism to it, possibly. There's weird shit happening. But
one of the things I have heard is ultimately like the story of this game is actually one of its strong suits. Like I don't know if that like carries through all the way to the end of the game, but like I've heard lots of talk about it being a pretty satisfying, unexpectedly satisfying narrative.
So far, it's interesting. Like the entire time,
which is maybe something it has on Stalker 2.
I think it has better storytelling than Stalker 2 so far. You play as an amnesiac character who wakes up in a bunker in the zone. You don't know why you're there. You're just sit there and you're told to go to the interchange to do something. You don't know why you're there. You're just told to go do that. And the game kind of just drops you out into the world. And like Fallout, like Stalker, there are these bunkers that have, hidden secrets and a history of what's gone on in the zone over the past 10 years or so. But you're dropped in there and you can naturally just start exploring. And there's an overall like mystery. One of the mysteries happening is that you come across phone booths out in the world. And
that's a big part of their like
phones. Yeah. Phones haven't
visual
worked.
Language, I guess, in this game.
Yeah. In the zone, phones haven't worked for like a decade. But there's some mysterious guy that keeps calling you when you get close to a phone that comments on what you're doing out in the world and gives you cryptic advice on what you should do and what you should expect. Like I run into one in this footage where I've run into an old lady who is this nature healer out in the middle of the woods. And she's got this kind of witch-like charm to her. Like, I know there's some bad shit with her, some way, shape, or form, based on the mission she sends me out on. But I also know that, like, she's kind of a mischievous, benevolent person, because she's also helping out the village by providing them medicine and helping out a certain quest line with a baker whose husband is infected with this disease that's perpetuating throughout the zone. And it's things like that where I run these characters and I'm wary of them, but they draw you in with their kind of mystery to them. And that characterizes a lot of the game. Like, there is a lot of interesting mystery happening. Like, so the village itself is protected by the remnants of the English army that came into the zone and got trapped. And so they are known as the Protocol. They control the village. They control the movement of civilians, and they just maintain order as best they can. And it's run by this old British colonel, the stereotypical British colonel. And he's, how do I put it? He's a bit of a curmudgeon, and everyone just tries to stay out of his way and not push his buttons, or you're just going to get sent to a distant jail where you're certainly going to die. So he kind of rules the village with an iron fist. But he maintains this air of diplomacy about him that makes you think that, maybe there's something to this guy. And the population, not to put too fine a point on this narratively, but the protocol has been slowly shrinking the population of the village down and moving them into the inner buildings of the village, because there is this unnatural, not necessarily a disease, but something happening to the townsfolk that is making them believe that the soil is speaking to them. And so they'll get this disease, they'll start getting blue in the eyes and even blue skin, and they're not Smurfs, but they will disappear out into the woods and become druids. A hostile druidic faction.
Like Rebellion's Rogue Trooper. Remember that game, Rogue Trooper, where you were like a blue guy?
Yeah, that's. I guess that's.
Is this a secret sequel to Rogue Trooper?
Secret sequel.
That I know of. But it's
Chris Davis. Is this a stealth game? I just want you to be honest with me. Is this like
as much as Stalkers?
There are stealth elements, and because it is from the Sniper Elite devs, there is an inherent stealth aspect to the game. But
I see you doing a lot of sneaking in this footage.
I do that because, number one, I have a low inventory. You have a small inventory to work with. And the weapons I have are rusted over, and I know they're going to jam. Also, ammo is very scarce in this game. Very fucking scarce.
Okay, so survival seems to be like
100%.
Like, it's built around the idea of like survival.
Like you remember the scarcity of ammo in Metro? Like, it's even worse than that. Like, you are scavenging to find shit.
I struggle with ammo and Stalker.
But you're not necessarily, when you encounter an enemy, a human enemy, you're not necessarily in a combat engagement. Like, they will notice you, and they will start calling out to say, hey, I don't recognize you. You better stay away from here. And
can
if
you talk
get
your
closer,
way out of situations?
Sometimes you can. There's some level of diplomacy from what I understand, but I think that's more narrative focused.
I do.
I'm talking about organic counters.
Someone called out that survival game. Fuck it, I always forget the name of it. I Am Alive.
Oh yeah,
I Am Alive. You can like point an empty gun at someone, and they
you do that.
Yes. If you point a weapon at an enemy, they will assume they have a level of self-preservation about them. Like, if you start wiping out a squad, like, the survivors will run away, and they'll kind of beg for their lives.
I like that. That was like, I Am Alive is a flawed game, but like things like that are things that are one of those things that kind of like made it stick in my mind for years and years and years afterwards. So I that's one of those things I wish more games would do, but like I almost never see it. So like it's cool to see it pop up in something like this.
It's
you
cool.
say cowards?
Yeah,
bunch of cowards.
We're finally seeing like some of that coming back though, right? Between this and Cairn coming out, where climbing has stakes again, bringing it back. I Am Alive was the goat. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
But
Now,
that's cool.
Nick, a thing you're really going to like about this game, because I know you're going to play it, is...
What about me or Crispy?
Oh, fuck off, Brad. And Crispy, I don't know about
that. Fuck off, Brad. It's me.
He's right. I wouldn't play this shit if y'all paid me.
There's no way you would play
I
this.
was going to, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
The thing about this game, besides the fact that there's no fast travel system, everything on the map and your leads that you get, they don't call them quest lines, they call them leads. Everything is organically discovered on the map and by character interaction. You're never going to find necessarily a scenario where you're told exactly where to go for a lead. You're given an idea of a direction to go in.
That's cool and all, but I guess I was about to say, I feel like I've been kind of spoiled by Kingdom Come Deliverance too, but that they sometimes point you in specific directions, but a lot of times you self-discover things, and that's everything kind of unfolds organically. But
let me give you an example. So I'm in this map is the woods, and I came across...
You keep saying mapped. Are these large interconnected maps, or is this like an open world where everything's kind of connected?
They're interconnected maps. They're not
okay.
They feel surprisingly big for what they are. But they're separate segments.
Is it like Chernobylite?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Chernobylite, but it's more organic in how you traverse to different areas. In other words, there are exits from maps to go to different maps. So,
gotcha.
So as an example of a organic questline here, so I came across a mansion out in the woods, and inside was this little old lady, clearly with dementia. She was excited to have the scientists from the power plant come over to stay and do their important work and stay here.
He's a witch. She's gonna eat you.
But you look around the house, and clearly it is in disrepair. It's overgrown with weeds, and everything's dusty, and she clearly does not understand what's going on. And she says, I could use your help. My butler, Jinx, he said he was going off to the dam area to get some stuff for her. And so she just tells you that. You don't know where the dam is. You just have to naturally find it. So I find it. Okay. This is it right here in the footage. And I eventually find his body. And I go to his body, and there's a note saying to whom
he's been dead for 20 years.
He's been dead for a while. She, the mistress, she suffers from dementia. She desperately needs medical attention. Please find her and bring aid to her as best you can. And it's things like that, just like you're told about something in the world, and it's a lead you can go explore, but you're not going to be told exactly where it is. Except there are leads that you find that are longitude and latitude coordinates on the map to find things. So the first thing I found in the world was a helicopter crash site, and it had a note in it saying team was dispatched to 20.4 by 76.3. And you go to that location and you find a cache of supplies and the next link in the chain of a place to go. And it feels like that's considerably common.
I wish there were more games that found a nice middle ground between the insane obscure difficulty of treasure maps and Red Dead Redemption and I guess whatever you would call the most common equivalent of here's a cache, go here, find this.
It's directly on the map. Just go to this point on the mini map, you'll find it.
Because goddamn, finding the and honestly, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 tries to do the same kind of thing with the treasure maps, and because you can just find random treasure maps on people's bodies and then open them up, and it has visual drawings and clues as to where they are. But it's kind of the same shit as Red Dead, where it's just holy fuck, this world's enormous. How the hell am I supposed to find that? And by there's got to be something.
Sound like a bunch of punk asses that didn't grow up with Morrowind.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably. I mean, it's super cool. Like I fucking love the idea. But, goddamn.
Now, another cool thing I like about this game, and this goes back to the stealth and the enemy AI territoriality that happens. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of traps in the game, a lot of tripwires that you got to keep an eye out for.
I saw you walked into a door and got almost like swapped in the face. But
yeah, no, like you run into traps very, very often in this game, but only I think like half of them are actually like meant to hurt you or kill you. The one I ran into earlier was just a sign that pops up all of a sudden, and it says "piss off" to warn you out of somebody's territory. But yeah, you find tripwires all the time with like Molotovs and grenades, and also just like homemade like punji stick impaling shit, like just absolutely atrociously guerrilla war violent shit. This game is really cool, and when it wants to get atmospheric and overbearing and threatening, it does a very good job of that. And combining that with
I am very much looking forward to playing this. I installed this, but let's be real.
We got real video games to play.
It's not that, Brad. It's just another big game. It's just another big game.
It is, yeah.
I do want to play it though, because like I am like the vibes and like the alternate history shit is my jam.
Ooh. Oh, you're gonna love the druids then. They are a hoot.
A hoot?
Wow, I can't wait to meet them. They're a hoot.
I mean, just like you don't know, man. You just don't know. They're.
I'll find out. I'll find out eventually. This is definitely a game I intend to play.
I think they're. Granted, I'm only 6 hours in, but if the narrative is going in the direction I think it is, like they could be one of the most interesting factions in narratives this year. Honestly,
sweet.
They're trying some interesting things.
Cool. Well, I look forward to playing this myself if I ever finish Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yeah, or Assassin's Creed Shadows, and or Stalker 2, and or Baldur's Gate 3. And let's be real. Okay. Anybody got anything else they want to throw out here before we wrap it up?
I finished
before we get to Crispy's Star Trek.
You finished Dragon's Dogma or Dragon's Dogma 2?
Dragon's Dogma 2. I finished.
Like you finished. Like you did the.
Yes.
You got the post game.
I went to the unmoored world. I did the whole save the world from the fog that's coming in because.
Let me ask you, in the unmoored world, when you start getting the wake stone, what are the teleport stones?
The fairy stones.
The fairy stones. When you start getting them as drops, like constantly, were you excited? You're like, oh, finally! I struggled so much this game, taking ox parts to get everywhere. You know, these expensive ass fairy stones. Now I'm in the unmoored world where they're just drops, and I'm getting them all the time. This feels so good. This progression of I had to fight to get to this point, and now it's so easy for me to fast travel. Was that a good payoff for you?
Nah, because I just mod them out.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Yeah. It's cool though, right? Cool game.
I think there's a lot of cool things to it. I still stand by some of my complaints from last time.
Asterisk.
I still think the XP balance with the vocations is garbage.
Yeah, sure.
And I think
what's your favorite vocation?
Oh, Mystic Spear, 100%.
Mystic Spear, or is it?
I don't know. That's the one that was a little too much for me, and it sucks because it was like the one real new class
that one was so fucking cool to me. I love the charge. I love the ability to build up a blast that weakens the enemy and kind of stun locks them for a little bit, and then just like the mix of physical and magic combat that you do while you're directly assaulting the enemy. Awesome.
The best move in the game was the Warriors lunge, where he like impels an enemy and keeps running. That's the best move in the game. Not only is it good to like impale a dude and like fling him off a cliff or into some water, but like you can use that for like mobility when getting around the world. Although you probably have infinite stamina mod. So you didn't have to worry about sprinting. I know it's a very popular mod.
Shotgun
Infinite stamina outside of battle. No, you didn't have that one.
Let me reiterate. I only had 2 mods. One was infinite fairy stones, and the other was half-weight items. That's it.
Let's not go down this rabbit hole again. Let's not go down this rabbit hole.
Crispy, what have you been playing? You been playing anything?
I've been playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Yeah, me too.
I got my.
Are y'all been playing together, or are you still like playing separately?
In this morning.
Do you remember what it feels like? It feels pretty.
It's never felt like that.
Yeah,
it's never felt like that before.
Yeah,
I had such a hard time. I failed a mission for time.
Yeah, me too. You gotta prep, dude. You gotta prep. I was like, I need to make new shit because I am not doing enough damage. Dude, I need to kill this thing faster. Yep.
It was insane. Like it was a nightmare run because everything that could go wrong was happening. Like I was having a hard time.
Ran out of cool drinks.
I ran out of cool drink, and he kept hanging out in like the hot areas. I ran out of potions. I didn't bring I brought herbs with me because I forgot how you make potions. I forgot you need blue mushrooms. So I had to spend time looking for blue mushrooms, which I was only and then as soon as I get blue mushrooms and I'm like making potions again, I forgot there's failure chance for combining items. So I get 2 blue mushrooms and I'm like, oh, thank God I can make 2 more potions. Nope. I get 1 potion out of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's garbage.
It was crazy.
You can eat 4 combination percentage.
I am no longer I am never gonna recommend that Chris Davis play this game because he's gonna play it and be like, oh, no wonder. Like I'm thinking about the mods for Monster Hunter Wild, and I'm like,
embarrassing.
Embarrassing. What are we doing? Dude, like the systems and stuff, it's so cool. It's so cool, and I'm glad it exists the way it does. But when I failed that quest this morning, I was upset,
furious,
like emotionally upset.
No, I'm there with you, man.
I was like, I just wasted a fucking hour.
Yeah.
Like
I got mad at the monster. This happened to me. I upgraded all my shit. I was so prepared. You know what? I'm getting the hammer. Y'all gotta turn me back to the old me. You know, I was like, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker in the face until he can't get up. This is what Monster Hunter used to be.
It was so fucking brutal. And I'm in 2-star quests. It's not even you're just a difficult hunt. Like
that feeling where you're like, I'm running out of shit. I just want to kill him. And you're like, I gotta be close. And then you fucking cart. Oh,
yeah.
When you're at your lowest, and then you eat shit.
The second
and then
time,
you're like, oh, at least if I cart, I get my health back.
I walked away from the game for like an hour. Because I was like, I can't look at this right now.
And
I walked away for an hour, and I just kept thinking about it, and I'm like, no. I'm gonna make a different weapon. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna kill him. I went back. I fought him again. I got carted, and I was like, I can't believe this game is doing this to me. And I finally killed him, and I think there was like 10 minutes left on the clock when I killed him.
Can you are you bringing your paintballs?
Yes, I am. Yes, and that was one of the things that fucked me up is because I didn't bring enough paintballs. I was like, they give me 2 in the fucking mission box. Like, who cares, right? I needed more than 2. I needed more than 2.
Can I tell you something? Especially in hunts where you're need to take down multiple monsters at once. Usually they're together. Sometimes they're together. Have you fucked with Adept Greatsword yet?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to do Valor.
Yeah, and Valor's cool, but look into Adept Greatsword as well. It's kind of sick.
Is Adept the one that's like drawing it or blocking at the last second? Or
no. Well, some weapons, but Adept is any time you dodge, you do a perfect dodge, but instead of a perfect guard, you'll do that super evade. Except with Adept Greatsword, it sends you into a sprint. And you start dragging your greatsword along the ground, and you could do a full charge while you're running towards the monster, and you do a huge like an attack I've never seen the greatsword do. Check it out; it's pretty cool. And when you're fighting 2 Tetsukabras at once, and you're try to hit me because I'm about to fuck both y'all up at the same time. It's sick. It's sick,
dude. But yeah, I was like, that had to happen for me to like really understand.
Yeah, you gotta prep. You gotta prep. You need to make sure your weapons are up to snuff, man. I know you don't want to make that iron weapon +4.
I gotta wear the ugly shit, and I gotta use a fucking ugly weapon, and it sucks so much.
It was a different genre back then.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
All right.
I'm still willing to do some online stuff with you. The problem is title update 1 comes out this week, so we might postpone that a little bit. So, we're gonna go back to
check
4
out
minute
the hunting hub.
We got it. It's true. It's true.
Why don't y'all both delay playing Wilds together and just wait until the update is just experience it both anew, fresh.
That's Friday. Friday is the title update 1.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
As in like 2 days from now.
I'm just saying, don't experience the content separately. Experience it together for the first time.
Title update 1. It's all post game stuff.
We're gonna have so many experiences together, Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
many
happy.
Experiences.
I know every secret of this man's body.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
Okay.
Inside out.
All right. Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay. Real quick before we get wrap up the 4-player minute, I think it's worth mentioning that Crispy and I had our second Yakuza stream the other night.
I was a little low energy because my sleep schedule's been weird, so I apologize for that. But
no, it's all good. I just like having you hang out and
it's
hang
very
out and
chill.
talk while playing. Yeah,
very low stakes.
We're gonna keep those going. I think I'm gonna keep streaming it. Crispy's always welcome to join me. I'm not gonna hold you to it, Crispy. But whenever whenever I'm live, you can just pop in there.
You're kind of figuring out the political situation in Injincho.
Yeah.
There's the Ijin 3, and we met the Gomi Jewel already, which is the Korean
we talked to a
mafia.
police officer about a guy who's peeing on everything.
Yeah, and a homeless man's trying to find a birthday present for a little boy. And also
I met the Sujimon. Yeah,
the Sujimon. Yeah, the Sujimon sensei, of course, Sujimon. Like, and then. Yeah.
Have you found Senbei yet?
No, I'm still very, very I'm still rolling around. Like I'm early enough. I'm still rolling around in like I still look like I fell in the trash. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm.
Yet. Like
you don't have the job classes yet, do you?
Not yet, but I'm about to.
He just unlocked Hero for.
Nick.
Yeah.
For
By the way, if Crispy's ever not around, you probably don't know this about me, but I've been playing the Yakuza series since the first one on PlayStation 2.
You can pop in whenever you want to. I don't know.
I'm just like, Crispy the only fucking Yakuza fan here? I don't know.
Literally we're just literally hanging out in a Discord call while I stream.
It's called Ryuga Gotoken. Like,
Ryuga
Gotoken.
Anyways,
Mark
just
Hamill
saying,
is my Majima.
Just saying, it was a fun Monday night stream playing some Yakuza with Crispy. It was a good time, had by all. I'm enjoying the game immensely, and
it's a pretty cool game.
It's a pretty cool game. It's a pretty cool game. All right, let's wrap up with the 4-player minute. Brad, start us off.
Man,
Final
I
thoughts.
had a good one, but I'm blinking. I had a good one.
It's a miracle.
Damn.
I mean, you could just yield the floor to you could yield the floor to Crispy so I can go over the next few episodes of Star Trek.
I gotta resume.
I have watched a few episodes of Star Trek.
No, don't go to Crispy. Chris Davis.
Chris Davis, final thoughts.
Well, Crispy, I'll leave all the Star Trek talk to you because I don't have Lower Decks yet. It's in the mail, so I look forward to playing it.
Fucker. The playing it? What? No, okay, go ahead.
My final thought is I'm kind of worried about the Switch too. Besides the fact that 100% that the tariffs are going to absolutely fuck the system, I think.
Well, as we discussed earlier, I think the price was probably taking into account the pending the looming 100%
tariffs. Not. No. There's no way.
What are you talking about?
This is the base price this is the MSRP for the Switch 2. Whatever else happens is on retailers, and retailers.
I mean, but like Brett has a point. Like they announced it. Like you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't just be we're kidding. It's $550.
They absolutely can change it. Nintendo is the only company I can think of that can take a game from 8 years that's 8 years old and then release it again and increase the price.
Well, no,
and that's exactly what they're doing.
Literally,
but
everyone
that's
does that.
a lot of companies do that. What I'm
and
saying,
raise the price on it 8 years after release.
There has never been an instance that I can remember where a company came out, announced all the launch details for a piece of hardware, including the price, and then changed their mind before it launches and raised it. Like, that's never happened.
No,
the tariffs.
You're misunderstanding me. I'm saying Nintendo's going to have an MSRP of $449, and then retailers are going to mark it up because of fucking tariffs. That's 100% what's going to happen.
I mean, I know.
Scalpers are gonna fucking mark it up.
Look, man,
They always do, but
sure.
retailers can get away with this shit too because it's fucking Nintendo and people will buy fucking Nintendo. Man. And like we're also giving them carte blanche to do $80 games. Mario Kart World is an $80 game.
Carte blanche.
Also, just to throw out there, ports of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch 2 are $80 as well.
You can't do the upgrade pack, which I think they said is what, $10 or something?
It's $20.
$20, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. $20 to run the game at 60 frames per second and maybe have a few small enhancements. That's it.
If you're so inclined, but I feel like most people are probably not even going to bother, but I could be wrong.
This launch is going to have 21 games for it. Only 2 of them are exclusives, and 2 others, there's 4.5 new games here. There's Mario Kart World, there's the Welcome Tour, there's Fast Fusion, there's a Rune Factory game, and then there's the new chapters for Deltarune. Like, that's the only new shit. The rest of it is just fucking ports. And
at launch.
Literally every game system launch.
What
are you talking about?
No,
all systems launch like this. All systems launch like this.
I don't know. It's just this is
also
nothing compared to
the
MSRP
for Mario 64 in 1996 was $70.
Yeah, but I don't think we're feeling the economic strain that we had back then.
No, it wasn't.
It was 1,000%.
We were also paying $90 for SNES cartridges. Look, I understand that, but we weren't on
$90.
Yeah, our parents were paying that, number one, and number two.
And now I understand why they were so pissed.
Yeah, but also I don't think they're under the economic strain that we have today, in the environment that we're in. Like, inflation's going back up.
That's the 90s. We were doing so good in the 90s.
We had just ended the Cold War. We were in an economic surplus. We weren't.
Capitalism won, baby. 90s was the victory lap.
I mean, I'm just saying.
And then 9/11 happened.
This is nothing compared to the Switch 1 launch, and
the Switch 1 launch is not normal. Also, hey, bro, what was that on the Switch? Read to me the Switch 1 launch.
I'll pull it up right now.
Because it wasn't Mario Odyssey. That wasn't at launch. That wasn't in the first month or 2 months or 3 months.
And Breath of the Wild was technically a port.
Breath of the Wild was a fucking port. You know? Are you saying Metroid Prime 4 is not worth a shit? Because I think it is.
But we also don't have a date for Metroid
Prime. Is this new Donkey Kong game not look sick?
I am just talking about the launch. I'm not talking about what happens in July or August or September. I'm just talking about what happens in June 5th.
So read to me the Nintendo Switch launch lineup, please.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
You got to give me.
I'm curious.
1 second.
I'd love to hear it. They didn't even have Red Steel 2.
Cutting into my Star Trek time here. So.
Okay, fuck you.
Okay,
we're actually way ahead of time. You sure?
SEO is fucking me over on trying to locate this information. So, Crispy, why don't you go?
No, I'll go. No, I don't.
Okay, Brad, go.
To do Star Trek. I think Crispy should be the last.
We just play him off.
I'm almost done.
Because he wants Nick to fade out on him.
I've only got one more season.
Happening.
Well, I got like a season and a quarter to go.
Wait, you want me to go, Brad? You're really that stumped this week?
I just can't remember what my one thing is. I got it. It was 1-2 Switch, Just Dance 2017.
This is not your 4-player minute. I guess you could use it.
It can be. The Wii U game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Skylanders Imaginators, Super Bomberman R, I Am Setsuna. I think that was not the launch. Or maybe it was Snipper Clips, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, a port, Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment port, and Fast RMX.
1-2
The
Switch
fuck is
wasn't
Fast
announced?
So
RMX?
there is a port of a Wii U game and some bullshit.
There was
Snipper
also
Clips was not bullshit. That was cool.
There was more than that. I remember that.
Snipper Clips was pretty cool.
Snipper Clips was fun. You're mean.
Also, again, to people in chat, we are talking specifically games available at launch, not necessarily not the first 3 months after launch. Launch day.
Launch day.
So
like later that year, they got cool shit. They got Mario Odyssey. They got Xenoblade 2. They got Splatoon 2. But all that came after launch. The Switch launched in March, and that launch was fucking Zelda. And
Zelda was the one to get. That's what everyone got.
Which
it was a 100-hour Zelda game.
And it was a Wii U game.
I
played it on the Wii U. I did not have a Switch at launch because there wasn't a game worth buying that I couldn't already have on a system I owned. So like launches are like this. They just are.
Most launches do kind of suck.
Yeah.
The excitement,
some really good
the
ones,
excitement,
though.
the potential of getting a new console on launch day is always exciting, even though you don't necessarily have the games that you truly want to be playing in the moment. With the to be fair, Breath of the Wild is a pretty unique situation.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which was a port, came later. Everything that year came later. It was Breath of the Wild and dog shit.
I don't know.
And Snipper Clips was
360 had a really good launch.
360. But we were literally talking about the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Did 360 ever really
The comment was made that launches in general are kind of weak.
They are usually.
They are kind of. Like my launch night for the 360. Even though I have very fond memories of it, it was literally me playing King Kong,
Cameo,
and Cameo, which
that was like bullshit.
And then there was also
Dark. Oh no, that was PlayStation.
Perfect Dark. There was Call of Duty 2. There was Condemned Criminal Origins.
Condemned Criminal Origins was a damn good launch title. That is true. I will give you that.
Yes, it was.
Anyways, Crispy.
That's like a hidden gem at the time. It was not like a.
Well, I was going to talk about.
Not like a headliner.
I was going to talk about.
Was that launch day? Condemned, by the way. I thought that was.
I think so.
I think a month or two later.
I could be wrong.
November 22nd. It was launch day.
Yeah, I think I got Cameo, King Kong, and Condemned. All right, Crispy. Go ahead.
I was going to talk about Monster Hunter for my 4-player minute, but we already covered that, so I guess I'll make up the time with Star Trek. Hey, Nick, have you watched any of the episodes on that list I sent you last week?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
He'd rather die. He'd rather die.
Look,
he'd rather watch One Piece.
Ashif96 in chat said, hey, I took Chris's advice and watched Measure of a Man, and it was sick. So,
that's a good
I know
one.
what I'm talking about.
Is there like an easy place to watch that? What do I watch that on?
Paramount.
I watch Paramount Plus.
I don't think I have that.
Cool.
Okay. Who does?
Me and Nick. The Star Trek
It's
Dexter.
It's Dexter, baby. I will always have it.
What happened since last time? I watched Chain and Command Part 1 and 2, which is good. Part 2 is the episode where Picard's being tortured by the Cardassians, and they're like, he's like,
Kardashians?
The Kardashians?
You guys make that joke every fucking week.
Did the Kardashians
He's like, four lights, which is a great episode. But Chain of Command as a 2-part episode is weird because the first episode doesn't have really much to do with the second episode, so it should have just been 2 different episodes. I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. Aquia, whatever. Face of the Enemy. Fucking Counselor Troy wakes up as a Romulan and has to do this whole thing. Whatever. Tapestry is a Q episode. That's the one where Picard dies and Q's like, I'll take you back in time to when you were at the Academy and you can do things differently. It's a really good episode. Really fun. Oh no, I was thinking of Birthright Part 1 and 2 that are 2 different episodes that should be separated. Chain of Command makes sense. Whatever. Birthright, Data learns how to dream, and then Worf finds a bunch of Klingons who aren't Klingon enough for him. So he tries to Klingon them up. Starship Mine. Picard's trapped on the Enterprise alone with a bunch of terrorists who are trying to steal a container of trilithium resin so they can make weapons with it.
While the ship is being cleaned by this death laser that's slowly.
There is a fucking shot. There's a shot in this episode where like a guy is walking down the corridor. It's dark and he's looking around, and then they cut to a shot of Picard in the shadows. They do a snap zoom on him while he's like holding a crossbow, and he shoots the guy with the crossbow. And it is unintentionally very, very funny. Lessons. Picard falls in love with a lady, and then she almost dies on a mission, and he's like, I can't be in love with people because I might have to hurt them one day. And then The Chase is the episode where we find out that most of the humanoid races in the galaxy were actually seeded by a progenitor race. So, like, the reason why all Star Trek aliens kind of just look like people with weird shit on their heads is because they are. Because they all share the same basic DNA. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the next episode, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm about to, is Frame of Mind. That's the episode where Riker is in a play about being in an insane asylum, but then he like is also like waking up in an insane asylum, and he doesn't know what's real, and he's like fucking losing his fucking mind. It's great. It's great. It's so good.
Fucking spoilers, dude.
It's so fucking good.
Why even watch?
And then it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more episodes, and then I'm done with season 6, and then it's time for season 7, and then that's it on TNG.
You know, I learned
that's the wrap.
That's it. That's it, baby.
I realized something interesting the other day, Crispy. The evil lady Klingons, Ursa and Pator, that they're the ones that are always harassing Worf.
Yeah, the Duras sisters from the
House the Duras sisters. They're the antagonists, or some of the antagonists in Generations. I didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah, they're the Klingons that are like attacking them in Generations. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they brought those characters back.
They are recurring characters in TNG. They're like actual villains. They end up as the villains in Generations, and they get blown the fuck up.
They do.
Spoilers.
It's great. Generations is a weird movie, but I have a soft spot in my heart.
There are some good parts of Generations.
Let me wrap things up with my 4-player minute now. Thank you, Crispy.
What the fuck? You already had your 4-player minute. I haven't gone yet.
What was my 4-player minute?
You said this can be my 4-player minute.
You were going over the fucking...
That was Chris Davis's.
Brad, you once again forgot that I have not done my 4-player minute yet, you piece of shit.
I know. No, you're last. You're always last, right? Right?
Yes.
Look, we're ahead of time.
I thought I was going next, but you're apparently going to take
I thought Crispy was going to talk about Title Update 1 for Monster Hunter.
Title Update 1 is coming, and it's going to be cool, and I'm going to play it. Go ahead.
They're going to have Zoshia, the real final boss of Monster Hunter Wilds. There was only that single low rank hunt that you could not repeat. It's a super sick fight. Hopefully it's going to fuck everybody up. I'm excited. We didn't talk about this last week, did we? Arch-Tempered Ray Dow is coming as an event hunt, which is going to be crazy. She's definitely going to fuck people up.
This last week, actually.
There's going to be a new... Okay, so what I didn't talk about was the thing that the director put out. Like, he did a big, long thing that about some of the stuff that's coming after Title Update 1, about some of the stuff that... the criticism that he's heard from the game, and kind of how they're planning to like handle stuff going forward. And there was a lot of juicy stuff in there. He talked about balancing, specifically called out the hammer as like, look, we're gonna make this thing hit even harder, you know. Some of the cool stuff he confirmed that layered weapons are coming was a huge ask, because the meta is these Ardian weapons, and some people don't like them, and I get it, because there's so many cool looking weapons, and everyone's tired of using these fucking robot weapons. Whatever,
yeah,
I
the
get it.
Weapons are kind of ugly.
That's very exciting. Some of them are. Also, there are harder hunts coming. They're doing like the, you know how like right now the 5-star like tempered Gore Magala is like the hardest monster in the game, and it is fucking hard. Me and Crispy streamed some hunts a couple weeks ago, and we got fucked up by this Gore Magala. Real fucked up. And there's an even harder version of him and the other monsters coming, including like a Mizu, who has like the fucking Soul Seeker or whatever. Like, Mizutsune like abilities. Like it's gonna be a fucking juiced up version of Mizu. That's gonna be exciting.
Difficulty scaling in this game is so weird. Like
It is weird.
It's
But
so easy until it's not.
it's so easy until it's not. But I think one of the reasons it has been easy is because the wound system it's very easy to proc wounds, and because wounds lead to such huge damage and flinches and like power modes for some weapons that you just steamroll a monster before they can even really do much. But they're going to be adjusting those thresholds as well, and when they start tweaking like not only the hit points levels but the thresholds for procking a wound, it's going to be a game changer. This game is going to get a lot harder very quickly, and I'm here for it. Because, like what Crispy was saying about Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, it was different back then. It hit different back then. You would lose hunts and you would punch the ground and you'd be like, fuck you. You would hate a monster. You would have monsters you were afraid of. You would have monsters that were your sworn fucking enemies because you have memories of bad hunts. I remember the details of these hunts that I've had in GU in a way that just does not happen in Wilds, where you're having like 3-minute hunts and I can barely remember any of it. It's just a punching bag. So I'm here for it. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing along. I'm going to be streaming a lot. I will be doing squad lobbies. That's one thing that was really fucked up when me and Crispy played. We didn't really know how to do multiplayer. Everyone's saying squad lobbies are like
there was so many times where like we were in the same place, we were together, we were in a group. It was like you're in a link, but now you have to be in a environment link because as soon as you walk outside the village, like you both disappear. Like it was fucked.
Squad lobbies are the way to go. They make it so much easier. So we'll be doing some of that. When I am logging on to Monster Hunter Wilds this weekend and afterwards, I'm always going to be doing a squad login. So look for me. I'm ready to fuck some shit up and get fucked up, hopefully.
Ready to fuck.
See you then. Go ahead, Nick.
Down to fuck.
Down to fuck and get fucked.
I'll
top and bottom those monsters if you know what I'm saying.
I do, sadly. I'll just keep mine short because it is.
Yeah, come on, Nick. Jeez, fucking hurry up.
Sorry.
Hey, I got what I wanted this week. Dexter Original Sin was renewed for season 2, baby! I'm so fucking hype. I'm so happy. Oh my god, like it's just.
There was a time where you thought Dexter was just going away forever. It was just
of riches.
So shout out to I think his name is Minish. I can't remember. He's in our community, but he's been following me. We've been chatting back and forth on Blue Sky. We've been having he's watching the show for the very first time, and he's like, "I love the show. It's amazing." He's been like giving me updates and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Oh my god, I picked a great time to get into the show." And I was like, "Dude, you're never gonna know the pain of thinking the show ended poorly for 8 years, and then to have it come back in such a big way." And like, oh my god, I'm so happy.
But then Original Sin comes along, it's even cooler.
I think it depends on who you fucking ask. I thought it ended fine. Now, here's the crazy thing. Lots and lots of like behind the scene shots of Resurrection filming this week. This is fucking. I cannot make heads or tails of what the fuck this new season of Dexter is, and I'm kind of here for it, but I'm also like just so not used to being able to figure this shit out, by just kind of like watching what they're filming and like being like, oh, I think I know who this is, and I think I know what this is kind of hinting at. This is just. I have no fucking clue what the fuck they're doing. Right? It's good. Like it's exciting.
You knew too much.
Yes, like you could usually pick things up, and especially when they're filming like a prequel series, right? You can kind of like pick up on context clues. Like, I think this is what they're doing because I know enough about the character, and like this is, I figured would also be kind of easy to read because it's like, okay, we know what happened at the end of New Blood. He should be like on the run from the law. This should be very much the kind of the story they have to tell. That does not appear to be what they're doing at all. I have no fucking clue what's going on, and I'm here for it, man. I'm having the time of my life, and it starts in like 2.5 months. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's like nuts. It's nuts. And then Original Sin got picked up for a second season. Everybody's very thrilled about that because that turned out to be a huge surprise. Everyone was like, I actually love this. So. Living my best. I'm living my best life,
brother.
Living my best life.
I know we're wrapping up, but I just read this Did you know? Chris Davis didn't cover this, right? In Japan, they're selling a version of the Switch 2.
Yes.
They're selling a
Region
Japanese only language.
For
no, not region locked.
No.
Well, the Japanese version is region locked, but they're selling a version in Japan that's an extra 20,000 yen that has multiple languages. That's insane. So like if you're a Japanese, like if you live in Japan,
then doesn't that just make it the same as that makes it the same price as international versions?
I don't know actually. I don't know. That might actually be more. 20,000 yen? That's like a big fucking price jump.
It is, but the yen is really low compared to the dollar right now.
But you understand like a lot of these systems that have like multiple language, like they've made a version of the Switch with only Japanese. Like there's a lot of countries in that region that would like buy these systems and they would have like multiple languages. The system does not support anything but Japanese, and that's the only one that's the cheaper price.
20,000 yen is about $135.
That's
a huge difference for the exact same hardware. That is a huge
difference, but that added to the price of the cheaper one makes it the one we're buying.
Oh, is it that much of a difference?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think so.
That's wild. All right. We're wrapping this show up, guys. Once again, the 1-segment show is just as long as the 2-segment show. What have I done? Anyways, that's the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess, on this show. It's been fun. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week to talk about more video games. In the meantime, we hope you can join us in Discord at discord.gg/4Player. We usually record these episodes live every Tuesday night. This was, again, a strange week because we wanted to cover the Switch 2, so we recorded on a Wednesday. But I think next week we'll kind of be back on our usual night. So
back on our bullshit.
Back on our bullshit. But guys, in the meantime, be safe out there, be good to each other, play video games, and good night.